Well,
Hello.
hello. Hello, and welcome to the Waking Up Spiritually podcast. This is Wendy Rose Williams with Gregg Kirk, and we are happy to speak with you about life purpose today. And we do record these programs as well as run them live. So you're able to see the archived previous programs at the wakingupspiritually.com website. And I'm a past life regressionist. I help people release energy that no longer serves them. And my website is wendyrosewilliams.com. So let's have Gregg introduce himself and we'll get started on life purpose.
Yes, I'm Gregg Kirk. You can find me at greggkirk.com. That's GREGGKIRK.com. I'm a light worker, energy healer. I do remote sessions and in-person sessions with tuning forks. And so today, yes, we're talking about finding your life's purpose. This is something that has probably been if you want to back it all the way up into what people used to call the meaning of life, there's been so many movies and books and so forth searching for the meaning of life. And there's kind of been this archetypical scenario where a guy goes to the top of a mountain and there's a guru up there, in the lotus position meditating, and he asks the guru what the meaning of life is. Or you'll see a movie where somebody's had some kind of enlightenment, but they're dying. They've gotten the information for the meaning of life, and they're dying, and the person who's with them is asking them, what's the meaning of life? And they die right before revealing it. Well, today, you're going to get your money's worth for this podcast. We're going to tell you the meaning of life and how it pertains to you. So probably the most sought after knowledge in human existence, and we're going to reveal it today. So I will share something on my screen here in just a minute. Let's get this technological stuff going here. Yes, here we go. Okay. Right. So where am I getting my information for the meaning of life or your life's purpose? My recommendation is to look for The Law of One, the Raw Material book. This is a book that was written in the 1980s by three people who began channeling an information source that was outside Earth. They were called the Ra beings, R-A. They turned out to be the same beings that that helped build the pyramids, and the same beings that the Egyptians actually worshipped as the god Ra. So these beings were very upset with that. They came to Earth to try to help human beings, to try to teach them healing modalities. They created the pyramids as these ways, the ascension platforms basically is what they are. They're not burial chambers. And then people used to do healing and ascension, tuning, and all these modalities inside the pyramids. Anyway, the three people, the humans who were channeling these raw beings, asked them a series of questions over the course of several years, and the information that came is probably the best information. I mean, I'm not overplaying this. The best truthful information known to man in terms of what we're doing here on Earth, who God is, that all of that kind of stuff. Of course, you have your own discernment and your own free will to not believe this, but there's millions of people like me who have read the book, and I think it's some of the best information out there. So what is the Law of One? Let's start with that. According to the Ra beings, by the way, the Ra beings answer their questions every time by saying, I am Ra. So you ask them a question, what's today? They start with, I am Ra. So I am Ra. The Law of One, though beyond the limitations of name, may be approximated by stating that all things are one, that there is no polarity, no right or wrong, no disharmony, but only identity. All is one, and that one is love, light, love, the infinite creator. So let's unpack that for a second. And by the way, you can see how they speak. They don't speak very straight lines. It's fully loaded phrases and fragments of sentences that are have to be deciphered almost. So they're just basically saying there's no right or wrong, no evil or good. There's no judgment. There is just the creator, and we are extensions of the creator. There's no, as we're going to find out as we start to go down a little further in this information, there's no distinction between the creator and the created. And that, like I said, all is one. So what is the creator? What is God? God is the infinite creator, infinite intelligence, intelligent infinity. And the creation or the universe was manifested from the creator in an effort to know itself. There is no distinction between creator and creation. We are all aspects of the body of infinite intelligence. So basically, the point is, you've heard of the kingdom of heaven is within you. Christ said that in the Bible. An extension of that, or taking that further, is basically that everything that we see on earth, in the 3D world, is the body of the creator, including ourselves. So we are all like cells on the anatomy of the creator. And here's where life purpose comes in. One of our major roles in life is to help the creator know itself. And how do we do this? By striving to know ourselves. So let's unpack that a little bit. There was a lot made in the Law of One raw material about helping the creator know itself. That really seemed to be the purpose of the creator. Basically, the creator created the creation in an effort to get to know itself, and that's almost the purpose of the creator. Our job is to help the creator know itself. And how do we do that? Just by living, by doing our thing. And we can't screw that up. In the eyes of the creator, there is no right or wrong. There's no good or evil. All of it is the creator knowing itself. So that sounds like a pretty easy task. Basically our role, our purpose is to live our life, to experience things. But even though the creator and the creation are one, an illusion, quote unquote, the veil was created to help the creator know itself. So in other words, it wasn't just going to be easy. And in fact, apparently there was a period of time, according to the Law of One information, that on Earth, there was a situation where there was no tension. There was no contrast. Everybody got along. Everybody was healthy, and there was no change. There was no progression. There was no ascension, and the creator didn't like that. So, you may ask yourself, a lot of us have, if there's a loving God, why are there wars? Why are babies born deformed? Why are there diseases? That doesn't sound like something a loving God would create, but this actually creates tension and friction. And if you know anything about how electricity works, power can't be generated without friction. So it's the same thing happens with basically the way we're set up and wired. So that's why the veil was created. So when we come to Earth, we take a body here. This veil, the forgettingness, happens. So we don't remember our past lives. All of the wisdom that we gained in our past lives more or less goes away. And then we start anew, and we start with this tension and this illusion of manyness or separation. Sometimes is a big deal for people. So if people feel lonely, if people feel not connected to a creator or even to other people, they can feel that illusion of separateness, and it can cause deep depression and for people to commit suicide. Or even this is the thing that I think is kind of funny. If you understand the concept that we are parts of the body of the creator, there's people who believe that there is no creator. So imagine that. Imagine if the cells on your finger didn't believe that you existed. It's kind of like the same idea. So without this illusion, the effort to know itself was not effective. The creator realized that. So that's why the illusion was created and was further enhanced by what the law of one beings call distortions. So the first distortion is this, the law of free will and the law of confusion. So when taking a life in this world, all memory of past lives are erased, so that a consciousness must learn and grow without past knowledge. This veiling helps the person and the creator know itself and evolve and grow, which we just discussed. Free will is an expression of individuality and the power of action that each person has. With free will, each person is also affected by predetermination. So your free will goals are set before the veil was added prior to taking life, but sometimes there's divine or cosmic intervention. So, people say, well, isn't your life, your fate planned out for you? Some aspects are, some milestones, but you have free will every step of the way. Second distortion is the distortion of love and logos. So love is the focus, the choice of attack, the type of energy of a higher order that causes intelligent energy to be formed from the creator. It's the most powerful force on Earth and in the universe. And by the way, I understand this is confusing. There's two things that go on in each of these distortions. So free will and the law of confusion, that's actually in the first distortion. In the second distortion, there's love, and then this idea of a logos. And a logos, for those of you who are Gnostic, understand that there are things, sub-gods or sub-creators. And so basically the sub-god in our universe is the sun, believe it or not. And we are logi of that. And then the final distortion is the third distortion of light. And light is intelligent, it's full of energy, it's full of information. And light energy has an upward spiraling characteristic that impels evolution. So let me just wrap this all up. What's the point here? The meaning, the purpose of life, here, this is where you get your money's worth here. What is the meaning and the purpose of life? To help the creator know itself. So how do you do that? Simply living your life and ultimately striving to know yourself. Following your predetermined role in this life, tempered with free will and divine intervention. So that's basically how we're set up. Before you take a life, you have some, like I said, some milestones are set of, I'm going to have, believe it or not, some people before taking life decide, well, I'm going to have a life not using my legs. They intentionally set a life of that kind of struggle to help them grow further. So you have those predetermined roles, you've got your free will, and then every now and then there's divine intervention that can come from your guides. And we've talked about that in past episodes, where if you start straying from your life's path, your guides will step in. Even if you feel comfortable, we've talked about that as well in the refocusing broadcast that we did, where things might be going along for you and you think, oh, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden things start going wrong, even though you really got information from your guides that, oh yes, this is the way to go. No, they'll push you in the right direction. So those who wander too far from their original plan tend to experience challenges and how does this manifest? Disease, accidents, physical and emotional difficulties. And this can polarize you into going towards the original goals or not. And then finally, if you're so stubborn and you don't listen to your guides and you don't follow your predetermined goals, you'll just come back and repeat. So those who do not learn the lessons or achieve the goals of their original plan will repeat them in another life at the same density. So, and I'm skipping an entire slide because I don't want it to get too dense. There's different densities of existence. That it's pretty fascinating, but I don't, we're here to talk about life goals and everything. But the idea is you go through different stages of energy ascension, and we are currently in third density right now. And for us to progress upward, we to help the creator know itself better and better by progressing up the densities, the way to do it is through service to others. So they've actually plotted it out, the raw beings, that if you spend 50% of your life service to others, you will ascend at what they call harvest time, when you're ready to pass on, and you'll go up to fourth density. Or, like we said earlier, there's no differentiation between good or evil or positive or negative to the creator. If you align yourself 95% service to self, so basically somebody like Hitler, who became a completely selfish person, had people serve him, loved himself so much, a person like that can actually move up the fourth density by doing what we would consider on earth completely evil and despicable deeds, but you can actually progress up. But as you can see, it's a lot harder. I mean, it's really difficult to be that selfish, 95%, whereas it's a lot easier to progress upward, going the 51% service to others. So if I'm breaking this down into a nutshell, what's the way to live, as some of the Christians call, a purpose-driven life? What's your life's purpose? I guarantee you it has something to do with service to others. And by helping others, being a loving person, and getting to know yourself, having examining your life. It's the old saying goes, the unexamined life is one not worth living. If you examine your life and work on your internal struggles and your shadow work and all that, and spend 51% of your life helping others, that's how you get to know yourself, and that's how you help the creator know itself. So I'm going to slow down here because I unpacked a lot of information in about half an hour. I want to see if Wendy has any comments and what she thinks of all this.
Absolutely. Well, Gregg, thank you so much for that presentation, because that is fantastic material. And I really relate to that in many ways. The concept of us being a spark of the divine, and that we really are here to uh, learn who we are at a soul level, as well as to serve others.
Yes.
So, and I really liked what you said about how free will and predeterminism, you can consider destiny in there too, are just balancing, kind of, I don't want to call them opposing forces, but balancing forces. Because as you said, we need that friction to be able to make that movement forward. And speaking as a past life regressionist, one of the top questions that people explore in their session with me is, what is my life purpose and larger soul mission? If you think of your soul mission as being across all your lives. And it's fascinating how, when I speak with that person's higher self and guides, it boils down to, again and again and again, something so much more simple than they could conceive of. It's often truly 2 to 5 words. We think life purpose is this, we can think of it as this, fancy dancy, like I have to write my corporate mission statement
Right. Yeah.
and, have this like incredible paragraph that explains it. And it truly so often comes down to things like what their higher self and guides will tell them is, it's be love. And yes, they might get some more specifics of how to do that,
Yeah.
or be the best parent that you can be. That's essentially your life purpose this time, because you're incarnating many times in many places and many body forms and dimensions potentially. So it's just fascinating how it boils down to that so many times. And you can just feel people's energy relax when they know, and they just can feel what that life purpose is. It's like the anxiety can melt away, the
Yeah.
depression can melt away of not feeling that they knew what their purpose was, or that they were on their life path, because that will certainly come up. And something else I notice, depending on the age of the client, the younger clients, particularly those who are under the age of 28 to 30, who've not yet had their first Saturn return, they're typically given a lot less information, a lot less answers by the higher self and guides. And they may just be told, okay, you need to keep doing your thing, and just feel like you're stumbling around, having a lot of experiences and just, not knowing, but you're developing judgment and you're getting into your heart and you're doing exactly what you should be doing. So we're not going to share any more information with you at this time. Whereas if I'm working with someone that's in their 50s or 60s or 70s, and they're still really just want more information or want more reassurance in that area, they're given a lot more information typically.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of interesting, how that breaks down. And something else that comes up to help you identify your life purpose is, think about, what do you absolutely love to do? What could you just do for hours and
Right.
lose track of time doing? That is highly likely to be your life purpose or be related to your life purpose. Like, I get lost in writing, and that's a really, really, really big part of my life purpose. So when I'm writing, I truly can lose track of the days and the weeks and forget that it's the day to podcast because I've been
Mhm.
writing for the previous 8 days. So it's like I'm not really, I'm not in that same space and time where I'm like looking at the calendar and knowing what day and date and time it is. Or maybe you, Greg, when you're writing music or playing music, maybe you're going to that place.
Mhm.
So, thoughts about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think I agree with many things you said. One is I think a lot of people feel before they kind of work out what their life purpose is, you feel like you're struggling or you're just kind of drifting through life, not knowing. And we're given these goals, especially in the United States, to try to live the American dream, which basically is, climbing a corporate ladder, getting a lot of stuff, becoming a materialist, a capitalist, getting married and having a couple of kids and all that kind of stuff. That's actually a very stressful set of circumstances there. So, we're all kind of taught that, and ingrained with that. And then if something goes wrong in that plan, we start to feel like we're failures. Well, I was in the middle of all that before I read the Law of One. And during the time I was actually, watching a lot of Esther Hicks, who's phenomenal, Abraham
Yes.
Hicks, and she was being a smartass one day. People were asking her, what's the meaning of life, and she said, the meaning of life is this: live your life. I thought she was
Right.
being a smartass, but after I read the Law of One, I was like, oh, she wasn't messing around. That's true. Live
Right.
your life. And so, but that wasn't satisfying because I didn't understand. Really, it boils down to this. One way or another, we're here to help the creator know itself. And we're here to figure that out, either being by service to others or service to self. Well, let's get real. Service to others is the better path, I think, or it's the easier path, or it's the one that has the most rewards. There's a lot more opportunities in the service to others path. So if you're here to help the creator know itself. You figure out you're going to do it through service to others. And then it gets to, but what does that mean to you? So what are the things that turn you on as a person? And you know, kind of going into the rails of that, or the lane of that, you know, how can I help? So once I figured that out, I've devoted myself to trying to help others every day. And I do that through writing and music and, you know, healing work. And so today I think I'm more, hopefully I'm higher, well over the 51%. And my question, you know, if I could ask the Law of One people, when they said 51%, does that mean today? Does that mean over this expanse of your whole life? You know, what does that mean? But anyway, so yeah, figuring out your life's purpose when it relates to you, you know, how to express service to others. To me, it really means, you know, what are the things that turn me on that I really are my life's passion, and how can I kind of steer that into helping others? So
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, that's great. Lots of food for thought there, Greg, and hopefully that is helpful to people. And I just take a lot of comfort from what you were describing in the Law of One, of for people to do their best to relax and know that we can't get it wrong, because we are here for the experiences and we are here for the exploration, and to know that, you know, that really is helping the creator. I think emotions are a big part of it too. I
mhm,
believe that one of the main reasons that we incarnate and leave home, leave the light, is to learn how to experience and release emotions in a human form, because that is just a really big deal, and you've got to feel it to heal it.
mhm.
And you know, just that's part of raising our level of consciousness, which I think of as raising our vibration or frequency and moving up through those densities.
Right. Yes. Yes. So anyway, do you have anything else to add to this topic today?
No, just happy to have this opportunity to connect with our audience. And Greg, thank you for being gracious, since Wendy was clearly on another timeline today.
That's all
And would
right.
again just invite everyone invite everyone to go to the wakingupspiritually.com website to look for some of the previous podcasts. We would love to hear your thoughts for future topics. And please visit my website at wendyrosewilliams.com, and you can request a complimentary 15-minute phone appointment with me there if you would like to explore what a past life regression healing session can do for you, helping you connect with your guides, helping you get more in your body, helping you heal your body, in addition to exploring what some of those important past lives are, not just releasing energy, but finding energy to celebrate. So back to you, Greg. Best way for people to reach you.
Yes, you can reach me at greggkirk.com, and especially if you would like a remote energy session, and where, you know, we can help you discover your life's purpose or remove blocks to your energetic ascension. And also, I just wanted to mention that every weekend, excuse me, I'm doing online group healing circles. So if you'd ever like to join those, just reach out to me again through that. You can actually go to my events tab at greggkirk.com and check out when those are. You just click on the link to the event, the online group healing circle, and it has a way for you to sign up. It's only $20. And we've been meeting in groups every Sunday at different times. And we've been generating a lot of healing energy for each other, but also we've been sending out positive energy to different parts of the earth. And we've been having a special quote unquote guest stars. A couple of archangels have come in, and we've had some pretty supernatural experiences. So I just like to really love to invite anybody who's in the Waking Up Spiritually group to come join us, because that this is a life purpose thing. I, I've been, I started off doing individual healings, and now we're doing these groups. I think this is another extension of the service to others work that I'm doing. So I'd like to invite everybody in the group if you feel so compelled. So thank you all. Thank you, Wendy. We will see
Absolutely.
you in
Well,
a couple of weeks.
yes. Well, that's fantastic that you're doing those healing circles, Greg. And I'd like to highly recommend the one-on-one sessions with Greg because I've done many of those with him, and they're just very laser focused. And it's amazing how much progress you can make in 30 minutes or so as he just helps hold space and helps you get clarity. Regarding what's been holding you back, and helps release pain or release old energy, and helps you get on your life path and really live your life purpose. So that's very much what his sessions are focused on. So thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Bye-bye.